You're smart and you're good at your job. Everyone keeps telling you, your manager recognizes it, your colleagues as well. However, when it's time for a raise or a promotion, your name is not on the list. And you feel completely stuck. You feel like your career is stagnant, that you're not moving forward, even though you're putting in the work. I'm Lissa Appiah. I'm a certified career strategist and executive coach, and I coach high achieving introverted leaders. I've watched many brilliant, qualified introverts go on to be underpaid and overlooked for years, not because they lack talent, but because of 5 hidden traps. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them. And stick around because reason number 5 is the one that I lived myself, and it cost me months I'll never get back. You may not want to hear this, but you're here, so it's tough love, right? The reason why you're feeling stuck in your career is that you're not desperate enough. You haven't made up your mind that you actually want to see a change in your career. You're comfortable where you're at. You are going to tolerate being underpaid. You're going to tolerate being overlooked because at the end of the day, every 2 weeks, that check is going to clear. You're going to have money in your account. You're going to be able to live on with your life. So you're comfortable enough in the situation. So even though you may not like the situation, you're comfortable. You're okay. There isn't a big enough push or need for you to take action. And that's one of the most dangerous places to be, because I see this often where you're complaining all the time. Everybody around you, your loved ones, your family, everybody knows that you don't like that job, but you've just decided that, okay, at least I have a job. At least I am getting paid. So you won't take the action to be able to get a promotion. You won't take the action to be able to get a new job. And then you just stay in the same place. And it could look like 1 year, but it can also turn to 5 years or 10 years. And that's where a lot of my clients are when they come to me. I've lived this myself. I stayed in a workplace that was a toxic workplace. And at the time I was telling myself that the devil that I know is better than the one that I don't know, right? Because I was telling myself, if I ended up in this toxic work environment, it's unbearable. Yes, I don't like it. Yes, but at the end of the day, I may go somewhere else that may be just as bad. So maybe I'm just going to tolerate what I have now. At least I'm getting paid. At least I know that I can put food on my table, take care of my responsibilities. And so I stayed in this toxic workplace. It was killing me on the inside. I was starting to doubt myself constantly, starting to doubt my capabilities, starting to doubt what I brought to the table, and gradually wondering if I was even capable of landing something else. And that's sometimes what a toxic workplace does to you. Initially, you say, oh yeah, I'm just going to tolerate it. But then after a while, it starts to eat at you and you start to question your own worth. And so if you are in a toxic workplace, I do have another video right above that talks about what to do if you are in these situations, because staying is not the only option. There are other options out there. So the video right above will help you. But that being said, when it comes to staying stuck in your career, that is one of the most dangerous places to be. So you need to catch yourself when you're in these situations to be able to actually question, what do you want as a next step? So if you are in this place where you've just become comfortable or complacent to the fact that being stuck is just a normal thing, what I want to challenge you to do is look at where you are now and then look at who you want to be. Actually take the time to write it down. What does your future self look like? And then what is missing for you to get from where you are to where you want to be? If you're seeing that there's a huge gap between where you are and where you want to be, then you need to take action. And what does taking action look like is based on what's in between, the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you will identify steps that you need to take in order to bridge that gap. For a lot of our clients, it's been deciding to get coaching. And we have a coaching program, which is the Introvert Leadership Method. It's a career rebrand system where we help managers and directors land roles that pay over $150,000 or position themselves for their next promotion at work. So if you're in that place where there's a huge gap between where you are and where you want to be and you don't know how to get there, getting a coach will be a great way to help you bridge that gap. And take a look at the description. I share the link to book a consultation with me. The second reason why people get stuck is because hope is free. So you keep telling yourself that maybe they'll notice me this year. You've been at the same job, you keep believing, and you keep waiting for the recognition that is just not coming. I saw this pattern with my client, Gloria. She was in a role in banking for 10 years. It was taking up her weekends. She couldn't go to church. It was also taking up a lot of her energy in the evenings. And she did it for 10 years, constantly getting underpaid and being promised this promotion that was coming that will allow her not to work on weekends, but the promotion never came. And she finally got to the point that she was like, okay, enough is enough. So she hired me as her executive coach to see what kind of roles can I position myself for? Is there actually room for me to grow in my career? Do I have what it takes to actually get to the next level? And so we got to work immediately, helping her articulate her brand story, helping her position her skills. We rewrote her resume, her LinkedIn profile, began the application process, prepared for interviews, as well as salary negotiations. She landed a role with an organization here in Canada. We call it a Crown Corporation, and she was able to double her salary. So just think about that. 10 years she stayed stuck, waiting for this promotion that they said was coming that never actually came. And she decided finally one day, enough is enough. I'm going to get help. I'm going to get a coach. And within 4 months, she was able to rewrite her story entirely and land a new role that was paying her double her salary, and she no longer had to work on weekends. So that's the power of finally making a decision. Yes, hope is free, but it is extremely costly. So if you're in that place where you're just hoping and waiting for them to finally recognize you or finally promote you or finally give you the recognition that you've been waiting for, the question I want you to ask yourself is, in the next 5 years or 10 years, if I had to stay in this exact same situation, would I be happy with it? If the answer is no, then start taking action towards becoming that person that you ultimately want to be. The next reason why people stay stuck in their career is that you don't believe that change will work for you. You've seen it work for other people. Other people got the promotion. Other people were able to leave the company. But for some reason, you just can't see it for you. My situation is different. I'm too quiet. I'm too reserved. I can't put myself out there. It's only people who are like this who get promotions. It's only people who are like that who do this. And so you keep telling yourself those thoughts are there continuously. And because those thoughts have been in your mind for such a long time, you start to believe those thoughts. That, oh, it's the people who are the loudest who are able to be the leaders. I'm not meant to be a leader because I don't have that personality. And that's the narrative that you ultimately begin to believe. The thing is, those are thoughts. Those are thoughts that you have about your situation. It doesn't mean that it is your reality. A thought can be changed. You have control over the way that you think, and so you have the ability to change the way that you think. I used to think like this, that only the people who were loud and flamboyant and extroverted were the ones who got promoted. I saw this happen to me where I got passed over for a promotion, and then the guy who was noisy, who was talking in meetings all the time, was the one who got the promotion. I could have decided, well, if that's just how the workplace is, then I'm just going to stay where I am. But no, instead I said, I'm not going to accept this. I want to get promoted too. I want to increase my income. I'm not going to settle for this. So I figured out, what do I need to do to be able to ensure that I'm not changing who I am completely, but I'm still getting recognized and noticed for the work that I'm doing. I leverage my strengths. I leverage the fact that I have great listening skills. I leverage the fact that I am able to understand a problem way more deeply than other people just because I listened. And that's the way I was able to land my first promotion. There was a need for someone who had corporate reporting expertise. And I kept hearing the senior analyst talk about corporate reporting. Nobody wanted to do it. So I was like, okay, we're pretty much doing very similar roles. If I want to differentiate myself, I need to build some kind of an expertise or a niche. So I decided to become the expert in corporate reporting. Through that expertise, I was able to start gaining visibility in senior level meetings because they were looking for people with that expertise. How did I know that was a need that the company had? Because of my listening skills. I was able to listen and understand, oh, this keeps coming up in numerous meetings. Let me start positioning myself for that. And that's what led to my very first promotion within my organization. So think about it. I could have sat there and said, well, it's people who are louder who get the promotion, so I guess I'm not going to get promoted. But no, instead I said, I'm going to figure out what I need to do to get promoted. I'm going to figure out in my organization, how do we actually get promoted? A lot of times you want to get promoted, you don't even know how to get promoted in your company. Every company has a different system in terms of how to get promoted. Some, it may be a panel that makes a decision about the promotion. For some organization, it may simply be asking your manager. For other organizations, it may be an application followed by an assessment, followed by an actual competition. Do you know how to get promoted within your organization? If you don't even know that first step, then you're already way behind. You can't tell me you want a promotion and then you don't know how to get promoted in your organization. So you need to change your thoughts. If you're able to change your thought and say that it doesn't matter that I'm quieter, I am still able to get promoted. If you're able to actually believe that, you recognize that the value that you have to offer is worth something, then the way you're going to operate, the way you're going to show up is going to be completely different. So it starts with the way that you actually think about yourself and the way that you actually then position yourself based on your thoughts. The next reason people get stuck is you're waiting for a sign. You're waiting for one big moment that the manager is finally going to get it. It's been 5 years. They haven't recognized your skills yet, but you're really waiting. You're waiting for permission that isn't actually coming. And this is one of the things that happened to one of my clients who wanted to make a career change. So when she came to me, she was near the end of her career, just a few years to retirement. And she was wondering, is it even possible to make a career change at that stage? And for her, she was thinking, well, I have to start over, right? If I am going to change industries, then it means I'm going to have to start from scratch. So instead of starting from scratch, she said, let me just wait. Let me just keep doing this job. And maybe there's going to be a sign. Maybe there's going to be an opportunity. If it's meant to be, then it's just going to happen. No, it's not just going to happen. If you haven't taken any steps towards getting a new job, the new job is not just going to happen. If you haven't taken any steps towards positioning yourself for a promotion, the promotion is not just going to happen. It's not wishful thinking. There's a way in which these things work. And so you have to figure out how does it work and then implement the steps. That's pretty much it. It's implementing a strategy. That's really what it is. It's not you just sitting there and being like, oh, there's going to be a sign. If it's for me, it's going to happen. It's going to come my way. It is not. You haven't taken action. You haven't taken the steps towards it. You haven't told anyone that you actually want this. It's not going to happen. Simple as that. So if you're waiting for a sign, maybe this is the sign. Maybe this is the sign that you need to start taking action. So what did my client do? She hired me as a coach. We worked together for a few months and basically we helped her realize that it's not too late. You can make a career change. Especially the fact that she had all these years of experience. She wasn't starting over. She was actually starting ahead. With the number of years of experience, she was bringing value to another industry, to another organization. So we helped her uncover her transferable skills and we helped her position them in the language of the new industry. She was able to make the career shift and land a new role at the director level. So if you're one of these people who's waiting for a sign, the sign is take action. Even if it's imperfect action, take action towards your goal. Our program, the Introvert Leadership Method, is basically designed for this. We're helping professionals either land a new role or get promoted. So if you're at the manager or director level and you want clarity on the next step in your career, take a look at the link in the description. I'm more than happy to get on a call with you and we can talk about the program. The next reason people stay stuck is because staying stuck feels safe. It's familiar. It's what you've done. Your routine stays the same. You get to see the exact same people every single day. You don't have to change anything, and that feels safe. A lot of times, the reason why we don't go after a change or a new job or a promotion is because change feels unsafe. It's uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's better for you to make the decision to stay where you are now, that you know all the variables, instead of deciding to go for something that feels so different and so unsafe. So that's the reason why a lot of people stay stuck, because it feels safe. What that basically comes down to is that it's fear. You're afraid of taking the next step. You're afraid of putting yourself out there and getting rejected from the job applications. You're afraid of going for an interview and they tell you you're not going to get the job. You're afraid that you're going to tell your manager that you want a raise and they're going to say no. So instead of feeling that rejection, or instead of feeling that moment of uncertainty, you would rather just ignore the fact that you want more. You decide that it's better for me just to stay where I am now. And you make all these reasons in your head why where you are now is okay, it's good, and then you don't go for what you want. So that can feel safe, right? But the problem with that is that it's costing you. Every year that you could have been paid, let's say $10,000 more because you were going to get a promotion, or every year that you could have been paid $20,000 more from that new job, or even my client that I was telling you previously who doubled her salary, she could have maybe doubled her salary 5 years back had she made that decision at that time. That is time that you don't get back. That is money that you won't get back. And there is a pay gap that exists between introverts and extroverts, up to $290,000 if you have a bachelor's degree. Why that pay gap exists is because of this very reason. Introverts decide that I'm just going to wait when it's my turn. I'm not going to rock the boat. I don't want to cause any trouble. When they recognize me, I will get the opportunity. I'm just going to wait. And you wait, and every year you're waiting, it's costing you money. So if you're one of these people who's not taking action out of fear, ask yourself, what is the actual fear? A lot of times we come to these different conclusions in terms of, oh, extroverts get promoted, or maybe was it meant to be? So we tell ourselves these narratives, but there's always an underlying reason. So for you, is it the rejection of the job search? Is it the rejection of the interview? Is it the fact that you'll have to ask something like a promotion or a raise that makes you uncomfortable? Understand what's the reason why you are feeling uncomfortable or fearful about taking the next step, and be real with yourself. Be true to yourself to actually understand what's the reason. Once you know what the reason is, then you can actually tackle it and take steps towards achieving the bigger goal. So I've definitely been in this situation, and what changed for me is at the moment that I stopped negotiating with that fear and I actually bet on myself, everything started to change. In different stages of my life, from going for the multiple promotions or even making a career shift, it's always when you decide that I'm just going to take the action, even if it's imperfect action, that's when you begin to realize that the actual change is worth it. If you recognize yourself in any of the 5 points that I shared, let me know in the comments which one and what are you doing to actually address it. In this video, I'm talking about how to get promoted as an introvert. So I'll see you in that one. Take care.